He made me sound very impressive, and I'm trying very hard to see myself against the picture there. I do think I look better in live than in the picture. So I was talking to Yanti. Yanti is taking a photo of me. She's actually the director of ICE from Indonesia. That we are the two brightest ladies in the room. We are in the sea of grays and black, but I'm in red, and so it's great to be here. Thanks very much for having me. It's wonderful to be in Thailand. Sawadee. So I love coming to Thailand. I love the food. Fantastic. And I arrived yesterday night, so today I hope to have good food. And please stay on for the welcome dinner. I think there's a welcome dinner tonight. So without further ado, you will have been hearing the name edX throughout the whole conference. You heard about Open edX. Sometimes we are called EDX, sometimes we are called edX. It's really up to you whichever that you prefer. But ultimately, EDX and Open edX were created by MIT and Harvard about a couple of decades ago. And then right now, a lot of the schools are indeed using Open edX. The Indonesia site ICE, which is the Cyber Education Institute, is using Open edX, and so is the Thai MOOC as well. Today, I'm going to share with you a little bit regarding what edX is doing in view of AI. Not as complicated or as technical as our earlier presenter from Klasin. He was telling all the prompts. I do not do all the prompts. I basically share with you some of the things that we are going on. But glad to hear that the name edX is being uttered throughout the whole conference so far. Sorry, sweetheart, it's not moving. It's forward or backward? Oh, all right, cool. Got it. Thank you. Okay, being a typical Singaporean, I have a habit of talking really fast. If I'm too fast, you just have to wave at me to slow down, okay? Great, so let me just not block the screen. I'm going to start off with a very simple quote, right? That basically says that you have heard a lot about lifelong learning. It is not new, but it has increased and been reinforced in the last couple of decades or so. And if you really look in terms of what is about choices these days, right? So I think what's really important is when we look at online learning, when we look at in using technology, you must look at it from two perspectives. Number one is actually at the leadership level. Are they being trained to know what's going on right now? I've spoken to some of the policymakers in one particular country, and I was told that he says that AI is scary. And I was like, you cannot think it's scary anymore. It is here. It's here to stay. The question is actually, what are you doing in terms of ensuring that everybody understands the basics and is able to apply? And importantly, is to be purposeful. I think when you want to combine AI tools with your expertise, your experiences, with your capabilities, it is important to see how you can combine things together and make it such a way that it makes a lot of sense and it helps you to be able to gear forward to take advantage of technology. And third, I think it's important to then ensure that there's quality and brand name counts. So Klasin, as you notice, they mentioned in the first phase of development, they look at university content. So edX, we specialize very much in university content from the Ivy League colleges, especially in the United States, as well as in Europe. And I think it's important that quality and branding does make a lot of difference when you look at credentials. You will be hearing a lot about micro-credentials. In fact, Thai MOOC has embarked on that as well. And that's why having quality brand name for your micro-credentials becomes quite essential. So basically, when you look at the AI, right, I'm not going to go through this in detail. You have heard a lot about it. But basically, it is disrupting. In Singapore, for instance, we have currently... well, I don't look like it, but I'm above 40 years old, and I profess. But we do have actually extra funding given to anybody that's middle-aged and above, like myself, where we are actually being asked to upgrade ourselves to learn about the latest in technology and the latest in AI. So it is really here to stay. And a lot of our C-suites actually believe that a lot of things could and should be automated. So that means that the workforce development has evolved as well. It wouldn't replace humans completely, but then ultimately it does have a very massive impact on the work that we do and how we live going forward. So when we look at learning, what does it mean? Okay, so if you look at our content on, or rather on a platform on edX, right, we have about 40, actually right now we are about 50 million learners and above. There has been a very massive spike in the AI content. If you look at the year-on-year growth on our AI-related programs, it has gone up a whopping of 400%. And then if you look at the enrollment here, since has gone up by 54%. So the numbers are quite extensive. And if you look at in terms of the future skills, it's divided primarily into the tech-based skills pertaining to technology, and secondly, of course, will be the soft skills. So on our platform, when we look at what's being searched, you notice that there's a lot of search that's on the word technology, agility, AI, and then you have interspersed some of them with some of the soft skills like leadership, communication, and coaching. These are all the critical, important soft skills of the 21st century. So for the key trends on AI, very much so, we need to ensure that actually how it then elevate the human experience. We are not looking at a total automation, but in terms of learning, it has to be a combination of both. And importantly, is the ability for you to then how you create and put things together. So in the past, a lot of times you may spend a lot of time producing content, but right now a lot of schools, instead of producing content on your own, you leverage on content that's readily available, and your role becomes that of a curator, whereby you then start to put things together, and then how you then deliver the content in a seamless way to the students. I think it's very important to start looking very much at micro-credentials as well. So like for instance, Cyber Education Institute in Indonesia, we were one of their, ever since the inception 3 years ago, they have been an active supporter of edX. We have been supporting them for 3 years. In fact, I just met Yanti a couple of weeks ago when they had their 3rd anniversary in Yogyakarta. So this is one of the ways where you start to stack ready content as well as putting your existing content together, and then students will be able to learn from it very rapidly. So we look at the growing needs of curation. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. We are one of the world's top well-known platform in terms of content, and we partner with a lot of the leading universities. In fact, our very popular program, the CS50 on Introduction to Computer Science and to AI, we have more than a couple of million learners just on it alone. We have programs which are either self-paced, micro-masters, cohort-based executive education, and even academies. So we have one particular academy that's called the AI Academy that is currently very robustly utilized by a lot of enterprises. Less so for schools, because schools usually utilize our self-paced course library and they stack on to their existing content. So what we have done on our platform in terms of adopting AI is, number one is in terms of the learner. We have two I won't say products. We have 2 offerings there. One is Expert Learning Assistant, and of course the second one is called Skills Builder. So let me go into greater detail what these 2 things are. So for the Expert Learner Assistant, basically what it does is we have actually utilized AI such a way that it can help you to then utilize the course curriculum to support as you progress through the class. So it doesn't provide answers, but it actually can ask questions to engage the students. Very much interactive, and it offers a summary of the content for each of the content section. So it really enhances the learning experience as a whole. For the Skills Builder, as you're well aware, skills is what we know as the new currency. So gone are the days whereby we look at a person and we start to ask, okay, which school are you from? What have you studied? Nowadays, actually, a lot of people are looking in terms of the skill sets that you acquire. So one of the key challenges for university students is looking at the kind of skills that they have learned from schools and how is it relevant to the demands of the workforce. So what we have done for Skills Builder is actually in terms of your career goals and skills taxonomy and data of a partner that we work with like CAST, we will recommend courses to you, and then we will provide AI generated job description for you, and then we will highlight what's in demand. So it's very much linked on to what the industry is looking at, and then hopefully it will help you to embark on a good career. For those who are currently working, they can also come on board, and then by learning from our webs, from edX, they could possibly look at career advancement or even career transition. So when we started on the Expert Explorer, we actually have fairly good numbers. So actually, we noticed that about a whopping 4 out of 10 return enrollment as a result of the Expert Explorer. And we have since received close to about 8,000 positive responses as well, which is definitely like way better, like it's like 3 times more than the negative responses that we get. Not forgetting the leader, as I mentioned to you, it is important for the leader as well as the learner to work together. So for this, we have this, this thing called the AI Catalog Curator. And what it does is actually we recognize that subject matter experts can drive the curation, and then that's when you create a catalog that matches what their leads are with a click of a button. And after that, we actually use AI to generate a curation. And basically what happens is then it can empower the leaders to then lead and start to use the tool more efficiently. For the platform, we are very much, for those who are actually engaged with edX, you know we have quite a rigorous content curation as well as creation process. So very much we are moving on very into micro-learning. And what we actually do is, if you notice our video library these days is very credentialed. It involves a lot of scaling opportunities. You can actually search for videos, and we are producing more just-in-time content. There are also very small little videos that could allow you to sample the longer courses, and then it encourages you to enroll in the full course. And finally, we will only surface videos that's about high quality to engage the learners. We have also started using AI to generate video quality labels. So in this case, you notice this is something that we actually do leveraging on OpenAI. And that's all I have to share. Thank you very much for your attention. I'm contactable over here. And any questions